taking a moment to invite in the cards to our circle, thanking the tarot for the messages that come through, knowing that we are simply receiving what we need to hear in a different way, and so we are open to receive. We thank the tarot and the cards for being in our circle tonight. So I typically pull a past, present, and future card. For our past card tonight, I pulled the Seven of Wands. I find this interesting because last time with our new moon in Aries 2 weeks ago, we pulled the Seven of Wands in reverse for our present card. Now we're pulling the Seven of Wands upright for our past card. So I do believe that this is about doing some challenging work right now. You know, when it was in reverse 2 weeks ago, it was about kind of discovering our gifts, discovering our talents, asking ourselves what adjustments we needed to make to find more of that joy, more of those talents, more of time towards those gifts, maybe like let go of what's blocking you. But now, you know, the Seven of Wands comes back around to assume that we've created that space. We've made those adjustments, and now we can actually do the work. We have space to slow down and do the work right now. So any sort of challenging work that you need to do, I'm talking spiritual work, emotional work, energetic work, maybe some deep, deep healing. These are the things that you should be working on right now. You know, the 7 is a sign of ascension, evolution. It's like 7 deadly sins, the 7 chakras, 7 days in the work week. It's about, you know, doing the work, dragging ourselves through it all, and eventually getting to the other side with success. And by the way, the 7 of Wands does tell us that if we just do the work, if we make the commitment step by step, that it will pay off and we will succeed in the long run. For our present card, I pulled the King of Pentacles, a great one to pull right now with this Aries ruled Jupiter coming into play. You know, anytime we have pentacles, this is about fortune, abundance, joy, luck. And when we have the king, we are ruling that in our lives. So this is a card of guidance to tell you to live in your joy. That if you would just simply be in your joy, to be in your bliss, to start doing what you love more of, then you will find more, like you're ruling your life, like you'll have more control over all of it in the long run. And this is also a little bit about our professional path too, a little bit of solar plexus and sacral chakra coming in together. Remember that Hasta Nakshatra is telling us with this moon to use our God-given gifts, to use what we've been blessed with, to create magic, to rule our lives, to actually support ourselves financially and find more abundance. So if you have a certain talent that you've been thinking about bringing out into the world, now is the time to be courageous and unleash that. You know, the King of Pentacles doesn't worry about what others think. He just does his thing because it makes him happy. And by doing that, others just accept it because he's so confident and courageous in what he does that nobody is going to worry about that. So be confident and courageous in what you do. And whatever your skill is, whatever your talent is, whatever your magic, your craft is, whatever you want to do, I'll just put it out there right now. Yes, I teach yoga. Yes, I talk about astrology and do birth charts and do tarot readings and do all the woo stuff. But I also love to get creative and artistic. And I have a side business. It's called Sacred Bath Botanica. I make bath bombs and bath salts and all kinds of bath goodies. I snorted. I got so excited about it. see how passionate I am about it. I get really excited. But it's something that just came about out of 2020 and having to shut my studio down. And it's never been something that I've been like, I got to do that for a living. Like I got to absolutely support myself with this business. It's been kind of like a side hustle or a side thing. But I made the decision with this full moon, like literally today, I was making these like magic egg bath bombs with like dinosaurs and dragons and crystals inside and stuff. And I love it. It's such a joyful thing for me. It's artistic outlet, it's stress relief. And then I also go to vendor events and I sell it, right? But I'm like, you know, I'm playing too small. I can do better. Now that I've kind of decided what I want to create on the Sacred Bath side, I've got a very big goal to make $1,000 a month with just my sacred bath business? With just doing what I love, can I bring in $1,000 a month? Because if I could, that would cover most of my bills for the month, or most of our family's bills for the month. And that extra that I do, all this other stuff that I love to do, would be extra income. So when I talked about earlier about doing some things to carve out more space to do what I love professionally, that's one of them. I'm trying to do more in the bath product side of things and what I do in order to bring in more money and more joy. So that's one example, but the King of Pentacles is basically telling you that now is the time to start using your gifts for more. Stop selling yourself short, stop holding yourself back, stop doubting yourself. Be brave, be courageous, because you will likely be supported if you just put yourself out there. And finally, for our future card, we have the good old Wheel of Fortune. I always have to say it that way, and I'm sorry if you don't watch the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, I haven't watched the Wheel of Fortune in 15, 20 years, but Wheel of Fortune, right? Anytime we pull the Wheel of Fortune, we are being told that we are going to come to a crossroads. We are going to come to a choosing of our fate. Guess what's coming up in the future? Total solar eclipse, April 19th, okay? We are going to likely come to a crossroads. Guess what comes up 2 days after that total solar eclipse? Guess what comes in 2 days after that? Mercury retrograde, right? Things coming up from our past, people coming up from our past, situations coming up from our past, right? Same with an eclipse. This is like eclipse and retrograde are coming together to say, hey, we're giving you one big opportunity to either stay where you are or turn the wheels and move into a new opportunity. There is no right or wrong, by the way. If you've seen the same opportunities, the same scenarios, the same people, the same experiences, if you have deja vu, if things start coming up again and you don't want to make a new choice, you want to keep making the same choice that you've been making and still have those same people around and those same scenarios and those same opportunities. If you want that opportunity to maybe come up again in a different way in the future, and maybe you make a different choice then, all of that is fine. But you can also choose to say, hey, I'm at a crossroads and I want to do something entirely different this time. And if you do, it's really going to shift your fate, because the Wheel of Fortune tells you that you're in charge of it. You're in charge of your karma, right? But you have to make a choice. And when we have the Wheel of Fortune, it's kind of saying like, the choice is going to be there. You're going to have to make one or the other, like no matter what. Now, this card is ruled by Jupiter. So anytime we have Jupiter coming into play in the future, this is telling us that we have potential for abundance and fortune and more to gain. So sometimes being in our comfort zone is nice, but it doesn't get us anywhere. Okay, so if you can just get out of your comfort zone a little bit this Aries season, a little bit with this energy of this moon, then you might just completely shift your life into a totally different direction, and for the better, for the good, right?